Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom for your day. Of course, first thing I have to do is clear my throat. And throat. Oh my goodness, I've been doing tons of work on throat chakra lately. Clearing stuff out, making space for clear words of support, guidance, direction, whatever the universe hands me to hand to you. So hopefully it's helpful. Interestingly, with today's card, I feel like on a human plane, yesterday's card would have come after today's card. That's not how the universe delivered it. So I'm just kind of curious about that, the order in which they arrived for us. So I'll read when I read today's card, you'll kind of get a sense of that. Good morning, Nancy. You're the first one popping on today. Glad to have you here. Way cold here today. I am sure it's much nicer by you. But I don't mind the cold. I'd rather have it cold than hot. So, yep, we're off on a roll here. Let's see. How are we doing on our 21 days? We're post 21 days of invoking divine right timing and divine right order. Yesterday, I felt the call to just be in moments. Various times during the day, just got a call to be in the moments. And you know what the call came from? Birds. First thing in the morning, it was the geese as they were practicing, getting ready to take off and head south. Shortly after that, it was the songbirds who hang out in the shrubs beside the driveway. But during the course of the day, there was actually one point where I was sitting here staring out the window trying to articulate a thought on the computer and waiting for the words to drop in. And two birds who must have been on the edge of the drain pipe fell off into the bushes. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. And they were just squawking and carrying on. I don't know if they were making eggs or if they were fighting, but either way, they soared around for a while and they were quite comical to watch. So yesterday the birds were the call to pause, pay attention to the small things, enjoy those small things, etc. So let me think here. Well, let me feel here. Feels like today would be a good day. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome. To do a round of tapping on being open to receiving. We've talked about invoking divine right timing and divine right order. We've talked about how we need to be open to what's coming our way. Good morning, Gwen. And I think it very much fits with today's card. So let's do a round on that. We'll start with the side of the hand. And Nancy, your name just rolled again. So my guess is there's something really good in here for you today. Take a breath in and out and just repeat after me. Even though I sometimes don't know where I'm going, I still love and accept myself. Even though things can be difficult at times, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I'm not sure what the outcome will be, I'm willing to step forward in faith. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome. Thank you for the hearts and the rainbow. Inside corner of the eyebrows, uncertainty. Outside corner of the eyes, difficulties. Under the eyes, confusion. Under the nose, I'm willing to feel them all. Under the mouth, in order to get on my path clearly. Collarbone, I'm willing to go through the dark. Under the arms, in order to come into the light. Good morning, Mel. We're just doing some tapping around the crown of the head. I am willing to be uncomfortable in order to move down my path. Nice deep breath in. And out. And just check in with yourself. Almost like you're going to do a body scan from head to toe. What do you notice? And notice with curiosity, not with judgment. Notice with curiosity So you might say, well, I notice my shoulders are up, or I notice my stomach is off, or I notice whatever you notice. Like for me, there's that tightness in my throat right now. So what I want you to do is rub your hands together. There's 6 of us on here, well, and me, 7. Put your hands wherever you're feeling it. Good morning, Maureen. We're just doing some energy work for wherever we might have a little bit of stuckness or fear or doubt. Just put your hands there and breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. A little deeper, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Setting the intention that that area of our body that feels a little dense or tight or stuck is getting exactly what it needs through the energy coming from our hands. Good morning, good morning. Glad everybody's here. Off to PT. Okay, well, join in later. Safe travels. Breathing, breathing. And perhaps you notice that whatever's there loosens a bit. Ah, awesome. Yes, let's take care of that. And I want you to ask, with curiosity, what do I need to know? What do I need to know? And maybe it's something you've known but have been avoiding allowing it to register on a conscious level. Maybe it's something about which you feel strong feelings, like, I have no idea how to fix this or do anything with this, or this makes me so angry, or whatever it is. Morning, Barb. So just sending energy to that area in your body that feels a little stuck, a little dense, a little tight, and breathing faith and trust into it. And listening to what it has to say to you. And I'm laughing because, keep going if that feels good to you. If it doesn't feel like yours is ready yet, that's fine. But I'm laughing because now it makes today's card make sense to me. Because as I said before a bunch of you jumped on here, the human part of me is going, today's card feels like it should have come first, prior to yesterday's card. Yesterday's card kind of instilling some hope and helping us enjoy the little things in life. Today's card is called Pray for Help. Pray for help. So again, my mind was like, why is this one coming after the other one? But remember, time is an illusion and time is a human creation. So we have today, again, a pilgrim card from Austin Repath. And I like to say when I pull this card deck, pilgrim in the sense of a seeker, not pilgrim in Plymouth Rock. Pilgrim in the sense of the seeker, because that we know we're dismantling all that occupier stuff and doctrine of discovery stuff. And it's going to take time to dismantle that mess, but we get it. We're working on our crap, right? So our card, pray for help. Pray for help. Take a deep breath. Opening up your curiosity to what this card might hold for you. And yes, parts of it are kind of dim, dark. That's okay. It's guiding us where we need to go. So after I read the card, I'd love to have you put in that. I'll read it twice, I think. I'd like you to put in the feed what jumps out at you. What line or what concept or what word jumps out at you. Pray for help. Some days there is no sun, only a thick stillness, as if the world is holding its breath. You lean on your staff, waiting for you know not what. A sense of impending storm fills the air. It is not a good time to be on the road. Yet, this is your fate. Your choice is how you meet what the road casts up at you. You walk on. The why or what matters little on this dull day. You do something you find very difficult. You pray for help. In answer to your prayer, you remember a time of fullness and a radiant countenance looking back at you from the stillness of a quiet pond. A tender longing gives you hope that you will one day see this face again. You taste the sweetness of times past and friends who cared. You feast on your life and are filled. And you know one day the sun will shine again. So this is all about how do you traverse that darkness? When darkness is thrust upon you, how do you navigate through it, knowing that there's light on the other side? Think about that. When the sun doesn't shine, does that mean the sun has disappeared? It's gone? No, it's merely hiding behind clouds or haze or whatever there is, rain. The sun is still there. And sometimes it would behoove us to remember that when it is a dark, gray time of life, to recall the sunny times in life. Let that be what fills you and helps you move through that gray darkness to the other side, to the other side. So let's take a breath on just that concept. And I'm going to read it again, and then I'd love to have you put the things that stand out for you in the feed. Pray for help. Some days there is no sun, only a thick stillness, as if the world is holding its breath. You lean on your staff, waiting for you know not what. Thank you, Barb. The sun will shine again. Yes. A sense of impending storm fills the air. It is not a good time to be on the road. Yet this is your fate. You're out there. You're on the road. Your choice is how you meet what the road casts up at you. You walk on. Look at all that. That's awesome. Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. The why or the what matters little on this dull day. You do something you find very difficult. Some people don't find it difficult. Some people do. You pray for help. In answer to your prayer, you remember a time of fullness and a radiant countenance looking back at you from the stillness of a quiet pool. A tender longing gives you hope that you will one day see this face again. You taste the sweetness of times past and friends who cared. You feast on your life and are filled, and you know one day the sun will shine again. For me, the line that jumped out here was, you feast on your life and are filled. I don't often go back and remember good times. Good morning, Beth. Glad you're here. That's just not how my brain tends to do things. It would be worth doing so. Remembering, and interestingly, I was going through my phone the other day, my contacts, and going, haven't talked to her in a while, and haven't talked to her in a while, and yeah, I wonder what he's up to now. And so sent out a few messages. Think about that. I mean, and the other thing that was interesting this morning, as I was scrolling through the various things I go through to see if there's any text messages, whatever, that need responding to, or messenger messages, a picture always pops up. They pull a picture from my photo album and pop one up. And I looked at it and I'm like, is that me? Yeah, that's me. And it was from the time when my sister Vicky and I went and walked a chunk of the Ice Age Trail. And I was pointing at one of the signs for the Ice Age Trail. That was only a couple of years ago, but it wasn't something that was on my mind. So then I started thinking about, and we walked past all these cornfields and these great big harvesters and thoughts and we went through neighborhoods. We're walking through neighborhoods. This is weird. An Ice Age Trail goes through neighborhoods. We had one point where we couldn't figure out, we came out to a point where the trail as we saw it ended, and we're looking around and couldn't see anything else. Well, there was a woman walking the other way, and she said, "Are you looking for the trail?" And it was like 2 blocks away to connect back up to the next part of the trail. Yeah, so, but it was interesting that those memories got tripped, and I could sit here and smile thinking about those aspects of that. So do something like that today. See what comes to you when you do that prayer and you remember a time of fullness and you see yourself in a different iteration of your life staring back at you from a healthy, glowing, sweet place. How cool is that? How cool is that? Remembering good times. Yes, the sun does shine again. Even when the darkness lasts a while, the sun will shine again. And going back to yesterday's card, in the darkness, we can still find those little spots of light. There may be some joy. So maybe it's just a heavy time for you, but you have a really great meal with a friend. Or it's a heavy time for you, but you're reading a book that's really wonderful. There's the little things to grab. Maybe you see the sun come out from behind the clouds. Maybe a breeze blows past you. Maybe you see some birds doing something fun. Scrapbooking. Yes. Look at the scrapbooks. Remember fun times. I'm going to ask her if she can dig this out from her dad's house, because I gave my daughter all the albums as I was moving around, so she's got them at her dad's house. But when she was about 10, 11, I had her dress up in my wedding dress and stand on, we had a little bridge over a dry creek at the big house, and took a bunch of pictures of her dressed in my wedding dress. It was really fun. I thought it was really fun. I think she got to the point where she's like, I'm done, Mom. But what had given me the idea to do that was when I was looking through a magazine, there was an ad. It was a doll. And it was a doll with long red hair that looked very much like her, and she had a pink gown on. I had a pink wedding dress. 1989 was the year of the colored wedding dresses. So yes, there are people who have baby blue and mint green, and mine was pink. So yeah, so I'd like to look at those pictures again, because that was fun. So for today, I'd like you doing something that helps you remember something that's pleasant. It might be you have something sitting on your desk that's a reminder of a good time. There's always beauty in every day. Yes, yes, yes. There might be, so maybe you wander your garden, end of the season gardening stuff, and remember all the fun you had during the course of the year with the planting and the tending and the harvesting. And now it's time to clean up the last of everything and be done for the season. I hope you found this helpful. I hope it filled your sails a little bit. I hope it gave you a new way to take a look at any dark periods in your life, past, present, future. They occur, they happen, but they can be those great times of reflection that help us draw sustenance to get through them. Have an awesome Wednesday. I'm about to head out for a coffee date with a couple of friends a ways away, so I get to have a ride. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.